You're welcome once again to week 3 of our data analytics training. As we all are aware, this training is brought to you courtesy of NACON Education Foundation. All our trainings in NACON Education Foundation are free. All, they are all free. You're not to pay any amount to anybody. No admin should chat to you privately for any means of payment. Okay, so we always out to make sure our participants have the best.
Now, before we start today's class, I just want to I want to point your attention to something. And before pointing your attention to it, I want to commend everybody for doing the assignments. Yeah, I want to commend everybody for doing the assignments. And I can see that you guys are improving. You are improving in Microsoft Excel. You are improving. You are improving. I must commend everybody. You have done well. You have done well. Thank you. Okay, good. Now, before moving to material, the assignment I gave to you last week, especially this particular material, tax 9. Yeah, I noticed that many of you, in fact, let me even say everybody, all the assignment I've seen so far, I noticed that you didn't attempt to bring out the top 10 from this table. If you look at the question, I said return back the top 10 numbers and sum. Also use conditional formatting to generate your top 10. Give it blue color. Now, I noticed that many people only answered the first question. That is, you use the function called large to bring out the top 10 number from this table, and then you sum it. But the second question, I noticed that you didn't attempt it. So I don't know why. Anyway, let me just do it and let's do it together and let's see. Now, when I say generate your top 10 number from this table, this is what I want you to do. I think we did it together last week, but let me just do it again. Now, I said the first thing you're going to do is to copy this table. That's the first thing you are going to do. And then I said you copy this table and then you come to conditional formatting and come to top 10 rules. And these are our top 10. You click. Now, these are the top 10 numbers. Let me try to move this thing. Now, these are the top 10 numbers. You will see that if you use large to retrieve these particular numbers, you are still going to get the same. But the instruction I gave to you last week was generate your top 10 number and give it a blue color. Now, I have already generated my top 10 number using conditional formatting feature. Also, now let's say you want to reduce it to top 4. You just click this, it will change. You want to increase it again, it will change. Now, I said give it blue color. Now, you can just come down here, come to your custom format. And then, hello,
Yes.
please, Mike, please mute your mic. Please, you are distracting me.
Etsebon, please mute your mics. Please, everybody mute your mic during the course of the class. Please, let's all mute our mics. Emmanuel, please mute your mic. Everybody, please mute your mic.
All right. Thank you. So now you just come down here, you pick your blue color, and then you hit your OK. Now, this is my top 10 numbers from the table. So I've already done that already. I've generated the top 10 numbers and then I gave it a blue color. Good. Now, if you want to remove this color, I think I taught you how to go about it. If you want to remove the conditional formatting, I taught you how to go about it now. So I won't want to go there again. Okay, now let's move to today's class. I'm coming. Okay, coming. Okay,
Hello. Please, are we marking attendance here?
Please, the
Okay, yeah.
attendance link will be
okay,
submitted. It will be dropped in the message section.
okay,
Okay, thank you, ma.
okay. Now, last week, a guy asked me a question on how we can input, if you want to input space in between two names, that how can we go about it? So I've done a research on it and I want us to practice it together. So please, I want you to do something now. So everybody from 1 to 20, please, I want you to autofill. Everybody start 1 to 20, autofill this row. Column A, column A1 to A20. Just autofill. Everybody, I want you to autofill till you get to A20, that is row 20. Now, the second thing I want you to do is this. I want you to type your name. Type your name. Type your name. I'm going to type my own name. Also type your name as well. Okay. Now, after doing that, autofill. Autofill your name from 1 to 20. Just like mine, from 1 to 20. Have you done that? Please, I need response.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
good. Now, okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. So now, the next thing I want you to do is that put your cursor here. Let this cell be active, cell C1. Let it be active. Then type your equal sign. And then let's call out left. Let's call out left. Type your left. Now, select this, your name. Select your name. Put your comma. And then it's asking us number of characters. So now, I want to return the, which is my surname. Now, if I count it, it's seven letters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want to return Olufemi, and it is 7-letter words. Also, you can also do the same to your surname. If yours is 10, type it. If yours is 15, your surname, type it. Now I will go ahead to type 7, and then I'm going to close my bracket. Everybody do that now. And then you put your ampersand sign. Put your quotation. Put your quotation. Put your ampersand again. And then call out the next function, which is right. So everybody call out your right function. Right. Now, the bracket is open now. Now, put in the second name. Put in your name again. Put in your name, just like this. Good. Put your comma. Now, how many characters? Now, I have 7 characters. If I count, Michael is 7 letters. 7 letters. Then I will put my 7. Then I will close my brackets. Have we all done that? Hello?
Yes, we have.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir, we
everybody.
have done it.
Okay, everybody, hit enter. Enter.
Done, sir.
What did you
No,
see?
ma'am, you think so.
See? In space, right?
No.
Okay.
Now look at
Please,
my.
will you go back a little? Will you go back a little bit?
I won't, just look at my function. Look at my function on the formula bar. Then do it that way. Look at my function on the formula bar. Then do it that way. I'm waiting.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I've seen
Yes.
where the
Have you all done that?
what's wrong?
I'm waiting. It's very simple. Equals to left your surname, comma, the number of character, the number of letters, you put it, you close your bracket, then you use your ampersand. After putting your ampersand, you put
Please
double quotation, ampersand again, right? Then your name, the first name, comma, and then the character, the
Done,
number
sir.
of. Good, you've done it.
Yes, you've done it.
So everybody now
But this is the name.
autofill.
Yeah. Done. Done,
This
sir.
is the name.
So everybody autofill now.
No, it did not space the 2 names. It's still joining it.
No, that means you did not do it well.
You have
See my
not
formula.
kept space in between the apostrophes. You have not kept. You have to keep just one tab.
All right. Thank
So
you very much. That's
the reason for the ampersand is for you to have space.
Don't worry,
Not
he has
space.
said it. There was supposed to be a space in between the 2 apostrophe signs.
Yeah,
There's supposed to be a
Yes.
Yeah.
So are you done now?
Yes, I have.
Good. So everybody now autofill. Autofill. Okay, now let's say I want to increase this space, this single space. Let's say I want to increase it. I will just put my cursor here, then I will just click my space, my space tab on the keyboard, and then I'll put my cursor back here, and I will hit enter. Are you there?
Yes.
I've increased the space. Now, if I want it to effect on every other row, what I will just do is that I will just copy down. I'll just do it like this. I'll do it like this. I will just copy down, and you will see the effect. Everybody try it now. Let me see. See.
So you don't really need to even copy it down. Just double tap the black dot there, and then the thing
Yeah,
will come up with the result.
any of the
Yes,
two.
I've done that. Yes.
Hello. Any of the two, anyone that is convenient. So have you all done that?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, if you want to reduce the space again, you follow the same route. You follow the same route. You put your cursor here, and then you backspace. So everybody do it. Do it,
Yes.
everybody. Okay. And then hit your enter. And then you can copy down or just autofill to see the effects. Have you all done that?
Yes, we have.
Everybody, right?
Yes, sir, we have.
Understood?
Yes, we
So,
have.
sir, please, what's the name of this function?
This function,
Yes.
we use left function, right function, and ampersand.
Okay.
Left function, ampersand, and right function.
All right, sir.
We
Thank
use
you very
them
much,
to
sir.
put a space in between our names. Clear?
All right, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay, now everybody just mute yourself now. When I need your response, I will ask you to unmute. But for now, mute yourself so that I can continue the class. Okay, now Microsoft Excel says value if true. Now, I am not going to accept this because I'm writing more than one logical statement. So instead of me to put my value if true, I won't do that. Rather, I will just put my comma, and I will put in another logical statement. If this particular row is greater than 60, comma, give it distinction. And I'm going to put my distinction. I'm going to.
Hello, sir.
Now,
Please, can you go back? We could not hear you from the beginning.
maybe you should check your network. Maybe you should check your network.
Okay, Mr. Michael, sorry about that. Please, we all couldn't hear you at some point. Okay, so please, can you please just recap for us? Thank you very much. Thanks for understanding with us.
Okay, no problem.
It's okay.
Okay, this is what I want to do now. I said nested if function. Now, you use nested if function when you want to write more than one logical statement. When you want to write more than one logical statement. Now, it's different from the one we did last week. Last week, it was just one logical statement, and we ended up putting true or false. But now, today, we are dealing with more than one logical statement. So we can call it nested if. Why? Because I want to write more than one statement. I want to write more than one logical statement. I want to write logical statement on this column, row 9, row 8, row 7, and row 6. So that's why it is called nested if function. More than one logical statement. So to go about that, this is how to go about that. Sorry. Equals to if your if function, then your logical statement. You pick the first number. If this particular cell is greater than 80, comma, value if true. So my value if true is going to be excellent. That is, give it excellent. And I will give it excellent. And I will close, I will put the another quotation. Now, Excel is asking me, I've already done my value if true. Now, if I put comma, Excel will be expecting me to put value if false. But okay, but since I'm not writing one logical statement, then I won't obey the command. Rather, I won't obey the suggestion. Rather, I'm going to continue writing my logical statement. So what am I going to put? I'm going to put if again. If, what again? If this statement, this particular row is greater than 60, comma, value if true. The value is true is return distinction. And I will put my distinction. And I will put my distinction. Now, I will put my comma. Now, Excel is expecting me to write my value if false. But I will keep on saying this again. Since I am not dealing with one logical statement, I want to write at least 3 logical statements. Then I'm not going to put my value first. Rather, I'm going to put another if, comma. I'm going to put my if again. If this same cell is greater than 50, then I'll put my comma. And then it's asking me value true. Yeah, return pass. Return pass. Then I'll put my pass. Now, I have one more logical statement to write, which is row 6. That is this less than 50. The less than 50, I want Excel to return fail. Now, since I've already inputted excellent, distinction, and pass, there is no need for me to input. There's only for me to input if this particular cell is lesser than so. No, I don't need to do that. What I just need to do is what? What I just need to do is to put my comma, and then Excel is asking me value if false. Yes, value if false. I will need to put lesser than 50. I will just put fail. I will just put fail. Then I will put my quotation. Then I will close my bracket 1, close my bracket 2, and close my bracket 3. Now, before I hit enter, I want to show you something. You will notice that when I was closing my bracket, you will notice that I was being guided by Excel. Why? Or why did I use 3 brackets? Well, I used 3 brackets because I wrote 3 if statements. 3. If you count it, 1, 2, 3. So that means if I use 4, then I will close my bracket 4 times. If I use 5 times. If I use 6 logical statements 6 times. In fact, Excel will be guiding me that you are here to close it. You are here to put the next bracket until I finish putting the bracket. Now I'm done with it. Now I will just hit my enter. Fail. Now you will see that this guy, Excel return back to us fail, because this guy is, if you look at the highest person, 80, is lesser than 80, lesser than 60, and then lesser than 50. So it will return back to us fail. Now let me auto fill the rest and see. Can you see? Now fail. So anyone above 50 pass, distinction, excellent. So that is how you can make use of your nested if. So
Hello, sir.
whenever
Please,
you
why did
hear,
you pick your hello, sir? Why did you pick the statement from row 9 to 6? Why not from row 6 to 9?
sorry, please, after the class, we can deal with that one. I don't want to be distracted. Sorry. Hello.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. So now I've successfully I've populated my column G and I've inputted my grade. I've inputted my grade. So now I want us to move to another material. But anyway, before I move to the next material, so I just wanted to know that whenever you are hearing nested if, you are dealing with more than one if. You want to write a logical statement that is more than one, then you will need nested if. Okay, good. Now let me do some let me okay, let's move to this particular material and see something. Okay, let's move to some if. Some if. Some if. Now everybody, I want you to listen to this explanation that I want to do, because you are going to need it, and going forward you'll be needing it to be helping you to be able to use this function very well. Don't forget, I said in Microsoft Excel, you don't need to cram anything. Don't cram, don't cram. That's what I used to tell my students. Don't cram anything, don't cram. Just understand it and do it. If you don't understand it, then you can study it again, spend more time on it, understand it, and then do it. Don't cram. Don't cram. Because if you cram, well, one can cram, but if you cram, if the question is twisted, do you know you're already in trouble? Because if the question is twisted, you won't be able to do carry out the task, because you cram everything. But what you understand, even if they twist the question, you will still be able to still carry it out. Yeah, you will still be able to carry it out. So please don't cram. Now look at some if. Now when you hear the word some if, let me first explain it this way. When you hear some, what is the meaning of some? Some means you are adding. You want to add something. Whether you want to add a column, or you want to add a row. That's one. Now, when you hear if, we've talked about if the other time. Now, for if means that you want to write a conditional statement. The statement you want to write is conditional. The statement you want to write is conditional. Then you always need if. Whenever you want to write a conditional statement, you always need if. Now, this time we have a function, two function joins together. Two function have been we've joined two function have been joined together by Microsoft Excel. Some if. Now, in this context of our teaching, now what's the meaning of and if? Now I want to define some if based on this particular work that we want to do. Now, some if function only deal with one criteria. It deals with one criteria. One criteria. Now, it's asking us range. What is the range we are looking for? Then our range is going to be the department. The department. This department. This is our range. Then I will come down here. I will copy down. Good. Now I'm going to put a comma here. Now, it's asking me criteria. That is, what is the criteria? Now, the criteria is tech. tech is my criteria, comma. You just look at what I'm doing. When I'm done, I will explain. It's asking me criteria. My criteria is tech. And then it's asking me some range. Some range. Now, when you hear some range, it means that some a particular column in the table we are looking from. That's the meaning of some range. Some a particular column in the table we are looking from. Of course, we are looking from this table. And if we are going to sum, we cannot sum department. It's not possible. Department is a test. We cannot sum status. It's not possible. Status is a test. That means we are going to sum salary. So I'm going to pick my salary. I'm going to copy down. Good. And then I'm going to close my brackets. And I'm going to hit enter. Now, let me now explain what I did. Now, in simple English, I sum the salary of those that are in tech department. The criteria is tech. Those that are in tech department, I sum their salary. Everybody in tech department, I sum their salary. So the total salary of those that are in tech department is 23,000 naira. So what you are just saying is that you are telling Microsoft Excel, sum those that are in tech department alone. Sum those that are in tech department alone. What is our criteria? Tech. What is the sum range? The salary. So if you come to this table, if you look at row 4, you will see 11,000 naira. And if you come to row 20, you will see 12,000 naira. If you add the both together, you will get 23,000 naira. That's the meaning of sum. Sum if. That is, if they are in tech department. That means Excel will not sum anything that is not in tech, anything that is not in production, finance, guidance and counseling, marketer, traffic controller, and accounting. It will only sum anything that is under department. Are you getting me now? Now, if I autofill, you will see that here is 00. Why? Because Microsoft Excel went ahead, he looked at this department, and he noticed that there is nothing like accounting here. There is nothing like accounting. Talk less of the job, the status. Now he returned back 00 because he did not find anything. Good. So it means that we have been able to sum all the salary of those that are in tech, those that are in production, those that are in finance management, guidance and counseling, marketer, traffic controller, but accounting, nothing. Can you now, then if will now make sense now that if they are in this department, some, that means if there is nothing, if accounting is not under department, then it won't sum it. So Excel return back this to us 00. So that's the meaning of sum if. We sum based on this criteria. Take. Now, with this knowledge, let's move to sum ifs. Now, when you hear sum ifs, it means we want to sum based on two criteria. We want to sum based on two criteria. That means if we are going to sum based on two criteria, that means we are going to sum based on tech, and then we are going to sum based on half time, those under department and status. That's the meaning of sum. Now, when you hear don't forget the word sum. You are summing a particular number in a column. You are summing a particular number in a column, and then you want to return it back using sum ifs function. Good. Now, let's look at sum ifs. I type is equal to sum ifs. Now, is asking sum range. Sum range. What is our range? Of course, the range is salary. So let's say that I want to use count ifs. You see that count ifs is different from sum. So when Excel will be asking us to fill to write the suggestion, the test, you will see that you will not see anything like sum because they are performing different function. Here we are dealing with sum, not count if, sum alone. Now, some ifs, remember ifs, more than one criteria. Now, Excel is asking us sum range. Sum range. What is our range? Of course, it's going to be the salary we want to return. Good. So now I'm going to select my salary. Good. Then I'm going to put my comma here. Now, look at this. Excel is asking us criteria range 1. Criteria range 1. Don't forget criteria. What's our criteria? What's our first criteria? These are our first criteria. Tech is our first criteria. Tech is our first criteria. So it's not asking the range of tech. Which range? Well, tech is under department. So that means I will come to this table. You know, we are looking from this big table to populate this small table using some ifs. Now, it's asking me some range. That is, it's asking me criteria range 1. This is my criteria, tech. It's now asking me the range. Where is the range? This is the range under department. And I'm going to select my department. I'm going to select my department. Good. Now I'll put my comma. Now, Excel is asking me again. Criteria 1. Criteria 1. What is my criteria 1? Of course, this is my criteria 1, tech. Then I will put my tech. Now, you will notice that immediately I selected this cell, my tech. There are something like you are seeing something like criteria range 2, criteria 2. It's a suggestion from Excel. Well, I have another criteria which is my half time. That means I will need to continue writing my. I will still continue to follow what Excel is suggesting. Then I will put my comma. Now, it's asking me criteria range 2. What is my criteria 2? Of course, this is my criteria 2. Now, it's not the range. Then, of course, the range will be this one. The range will be this one. So I will come over here and I will select. I will select my range. Good. I'll put my comma again. Now, Excel is asking me again. Criteria 2. Criteria 2. What is my criteria 2? Of course, half time is my criteria 2. Then I will select my criteria 2. Then what is the next? Now, let's say I put a comma here. It's asking me criteria range 3. Now, if you look at the table we want to populate, there is nothing like criteria range, there is nothing like third criteria. We only have tech and half time. Under department, under status, we don't have any criteria again that we want to populate. Therefore, I will just clear I will remove the comma. Now, let's say you have more than one criteria. Let's say you have more than 2 criteria. Maybe you have like 21 criteria that you want to return 21 criteria. Excel will continue to bring a criteria 3, criteria 4, criteria 5, criteria 6, criteria 7. But on this data, we have just only 2 criteria that we want to return. So therefore, I'm going to close my brackets. I'm done with the function. And I will hit my enter. Now, look at it. Can you see? This is 12,000. Now, before I autofill the rest, let me explain what I did. Now, pay attention. This is it. I said, I told Microsoft Excel to do this. I said, sum those that are in tech department. Are you hearing me? Please don't come. Some those that are in tech department whose job status is half-time. Some those that are in tech department whose job status is half-time. Now, Excel went ahead to retrieve those that are in tech department that has a job status of half-time. So now, if you look at this table, you will see that if you look at the first tech, we have hourly. And then if you look at the second tech, we have the one here, row 20, we have half-time. So as I looked at this table that we want to retrieve from, you notice that tech is hourly, and then the criteria is that half-time. So as I looked at this, he saw hourly, so he didn't bother to pick, he didn't bother to sum the salary. So as I came to row 20, you notice that this is half-time here. The salary is 12,000. Yeah, and then you retrieve back the 12,000. Can you see now? I will repeat again. This function, we told Excel to do this. That is, sum those that are in tech department, whose job status is half-time. Half-time. Now, you know that when you successfully do the first one, then you can autofill. Now, you can use the same thing to interpret production. Some those that are in production department, a job status of half-time. Same to finance, hourly. Guidance and counseling, hourly. Marketer, half-time. Traffic controller, half-time. Accounting, hourly. So now, if I populate myself, now, you will see that when Excel got to production, he looked for the half-time, the second criteria, half-time. Now, if you look at production here, we have hourly, 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 hourly. That means row 13, he retrieved back row 13, half-time. So Excel returned back to us half-time, 8,900. Now, he went to finance management, which is hourly. Now, Excel noticed that under finance management, there is nothing like hourly. He saw half-time, 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 half-time. So he retrieved 0. That I didn't find anything like hourly. So he gave us 0. Guidance and counseling, hourly, he got 14,000 naira. Marketer, 0. That means there is nothing like half-time in marketer. If you check it now, you will not see any half-time here. Traffic controller, 8,007. That means he got 1 half-time here. Accounting, if you look at my department here, there is nothing like accounting here. So he returned back is 0. Good. Now, let's look at can't ifs. Can't ifs. Can't ifs. Now, what's the meaning of can't ifs? Well, what you are saying is that can't anybody, can't any, let me say, any department, can't any department that has half-time, can't any department with a job status of half-time, can't any production that the job status is half-time, can't any finance management that the job status is hourly, can't any guidance and counseling that the job status is hourly, like that. So if by adventure there is nothing of such, Excel will return 0, that I can't find anything there. There is nothing inside this table that I can retrieve here, then it will return back 0. So let's write the function now. Is equal to can't ifs, can't ifs. These are our ifs. Now, he's asking us criteria range 1. I think by now you should be used to this thing now. Criteria range 1. Now, if you hear criteria range 1, that's tech now. You won't come and pick tech because tech is criteria. But it's asking criteria range 1. It means that the column where you can see tech And where can we find tech? You will find tech under department here. That will be our criteria range 1. What will you do? You select. You select. Good. Now, I'm going to put my comma here. Now, Excel is asking me criteria 1. Well, of course, what will be your criteria 1? Your criteria 1 will be your what? Your tech. Good. I'll put my comma. Now you will see that when I'm doing my count ifs, you will see that there is nothing like sum range. There's nothing like sum range. There's nothing like sum range. Because this time I'm not summing any salary. This time I'm counting. I'm counting. So since I'm counting, I don't expect to see sum. Since I didn't initiate sum if and sum if, so I didn't expect any sum this time. So it's asking me criteria range 2, of course. Our criteria range 2. This is our halftime now. But here you will not pick halftime here because it's a criteria. It's asking the range. That means the column, the table we want to return, the table we are looking from to return. So that means I will come to my status. I will click. I will copy down. Good. Then I will put my comma. Now, Excel is asking me again. Criteria 2. So what will be my criteria 2? My criteria 2 will be my what? My halftime. Then I will click. I will close my brackets. What is the next thing I'm going to do? I'm going to hit my enter. Now, if you look at what was returned here, we can all see 1. Why? Because those in tech departments whose job status is 1. We said you should count anyone in tech department with a job status of half-time. Anyone in tech department with a job status of half-time. Now, if you look at this tech department, you will see here row 4, you will see hourly. This row 1, and then 2. But Excel returned 1. Why? Because based on the criteria, we only have just 1 half-time, and this is the half-time, this one. So he returned back 1. That's why you are seeing this 1. Now let me try to autofill. If I autofill, you will see that production, anyone in production with half-time status, you will see that this hourly. If you come down here in row 13, you will see 1 half-time. Then he returned 1. See, there is no need to cram anything. Just understand it. 1. Now, finance management, job status of hourly. Excel looked at finance management and he didn't see anything. We have 1 half-time here, half-time. So 0 here. Guidance and counseling, hourly. He saw 1, so he retrieved back 1. Marketer, half-time, nothing. He retrieved back 0. Traffic controller, half-time, Excel got 1. He retrieved back 1. Accounting, there is nothing like accounting on this column. Excel returned back 0. That there is nothing like accounting here. Now, good. Let's move to count if. Count if. So, what's the meaning of count if? Now, don't forget ifs. Ifs is that you are dealing with more than 1 criteria. When you hear ifs, more than 1 criteria. Now, this count if. There is nothing like criteria any longer here. There is nothing like 2 criteria any longer here. That's 1. And number 2, there is nothing like sum range here as well. Here we just want to count. Remember the function count in the assignment I gave to you. Count. Now he said count if. Of course, what are we counting? Well, we want to count the number of rows, of tech department, the number of rows of production on this table. That's the meaning of count. We want to count the number of their rows, the number of time they appeared. That's the meaning of count. 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 That means if they didn't appear, then not it will return 0. That's the meaning of count if. Count if it appear 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. That's the meaning of the if. So now I will write my function now equals to count if. Now it's asking range. What will be my range? Will this be my range? No. Why? This is my criteria. Now it's asking range. Of course, the range is going to be the department where we can find this criteria. So that means I will come down here and I'm going to select this particular row. Good. I'm going to put my comma here. Then it's asking criteria. Which criteria? What is our criteria? Of course, tech. Tech is our criteria. We are not dealing with ifs now, that we are going to use 2 criteria. This time, 1 criteria. Then I'll close my brackets. Then I will hit enter. Now 2. Now if you look at this table, you will see, excuse me, if you look at this table, you will realize that tech only appeared twice. If you count 1, and then we come to row 22, hence it gave us 2. If you look at production here, let me just try to autofill. Now, if you look at production 5, that means exec counted the number of rows and he got 5. They returned back 5. He went to finance management, he got 4. He returned back 4. He went to guidance and counseling, he got 1. He returned back 1. Marketer. Now, when he got to accounting, don't forget count if. If we can see accounting under department, then count it as well. But if you cannot see it, then don't count. Just return 0. Now, Ezra now went to Ezra came here. He looked at our department. He couldn't see accounting, and Ezra returned back is 0. So that's count if. So some if you are dealing with 1 criteria. Some ifs you are dealing with 2 criteria. Count ifs you are counting based on the criteria. Then count if. What are you doing? You are counting the number of time you can see, the number of time they appeared on the department column. That's the meaning of count if. So I believe that some if, some is, count is, and count if is no longer a problem. Because at times some people can even cram it. Some people can just cram it and say, when I see rain, then I will do this. When I see rain, and then you will just cram it. But you don't need to cram, just understand it. And when you do it, you'll be able to do it well. I can remember that time. I think during my training then, I crammed it then. Yes, I crammed it. This thing. I crammed it then because I did not understand it. But when I wanted to teach someone, I carried out research on it. I practice, and I was able to get hang of it. So please don't cram. Now, there is something I want to show you. Let's look at, I know you might have come across average if. I guess that average if and average is. That how does it work? Average if and average is. You might have seen it before. It's also a function. And if you look at my table here, there is also like average if and average ifs. But for the sake of this class, I'm going to put average if, and then we are going to look at how it works. Average if and average ifs. So let me try to go there. Average if average if. Now, if you look at my table, there's nothing like I don't have average here, but I just want to teach you how to use this particular function as well. So that when you see it, when you see average if, you know, okay, average if, some if, can't ifs, average if. Now let's see. Now, this is the first thing I want to do. You put your equal sign, then you put your equal sign, and then you type your average if. Average if. Average if. Now, let me try to delete. This cell is active. Okay. Now, average if is, let me try to move the syntax here. Okay, good. Now, he's asking us the range. Range. You remember the range? Good. You remember the range? Good. What will be our range? Don't forget that our range is not going to be tech. Tech is going to be the criteria, not range. But when you hear range, it's asking where we can find tech, the column where we can find tech. Of course, we can find tech here. So our range will be this one. So I'm going to select it. I'm going to copy down. I'm going to put my comma here. Now, good. He's asking me criteria. Criteria. What is our criteria? Of course, our criteria is going to be tech. Then I'm going to select tech. I'm going to put my comma. Now, Excel is asking us average range. Average range. Now, you look at the other time, what we have been saying, we have been saying some. Now, he's saying average range. Of course, when you hear average, that means that you want to calculate the figure. Now, you want to add the figure together and then get your average. So that means our average range is going to be this. It's going to be this particular column. This particular column. And I'm going to select this particular column. Then I'm going to close my brackets. Then I will hit my enter. Good. Now you will see that the average here is 11,500. 11,500. So that is the average of this particular criteria. This tech, this tech, those that are half time. This is the particular, this tech, half time, the half time, and then the total have the total number, like, okay, this particular row, this particular cell, the average of this number, you got 11,005. Now if I autofill, now if you look at this as well, this is the average of this particular cell. I hope you know how to calculate average now. After summing everything together, after summing all the rows, after summing all the salary together, and then you now count. That means that 55,600 divided by 5, we got this. We got this. Same thing to this as well. 12,625. 50,500 divided by 4. Here, 14,000 divided by 1. You return back this, and then this. That's how to, and then this. Remember that there is nothing here. We don't have accounting on this table. So that's how to make use of average if. Average if. Now let's say that you want to use average ifs. Of course, this will be the last one here. Let's say you want to make use of average ifs. Average ifs. How do I go about it? I'm going to type again. Let me quickly type the header. I'm going to type average ifs. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is that we are going to put our equal sign here, equals to. I'm going to type my average ifs. This is my average ifs. I'm going to type. Now, it's asking us average range. Remember the other one we did, average range. Don't forget, the average range is going to be what? Your salary. So you come back to your salary, and you select. I'll put my comma here. Now, it's asking me criteria range 1. Criteria range 1. What is my criteria range 1? Remember the other time, the one we did, the sum if can't ifs. So my criteria range 1. This is my criteria now. Take is my criteria. Then the range, the column. What is the column? The column is this department. Then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to copy down. Good. And I'm going to put my comma. Now it's asking me criteria 1. Criteria 1. What will be my criteria 1? Of course, this is going to be my criteria 1, the tech. And I'm going to select my tech. I'm going to put my comma again. Now it's asking me criteria range 2. Criteria range 2. What is our second criteria? Of course, half time. It's now asking the range. That will be the column. So you come to your status here. You come to your status here. Then you copy down. Good. And then I'll put my comma. Now, it's asking me criteria 2. Criteria 2. What is my criteria 2? Of course, it's going to be my criteria 2, the half time. I'm going to pick my half time. Let's say I put a comma behind H4. It's asking criteria range 3, but I don't have any criteria any longer. I don't have any criteria on my table I want to populate. I don't have any criteria. Neither do I have any column here. So therefore, I'm going to remove my comma. Then I'm going to, sorry, excuse me. Then I'm going to close my bracket. Now, I'm going to hit my enter. Here, we got 12,000. We got 12,000. That is, anyone that is in tech department with a job status of half time, give me the average. That's the meaning. Anyone in tech department with a job status of half time, give me the average. Anyone in production department with a job status of half time, give me the average. Anyone in finance management with a job status of hourly, give me the average. Like that, like that, like that. So now let me try to populate the other one. And I will just populate. Now look at something here. Now, Excel return back 12,000. Fine, that's the right answer. Excel return back 8,900. Now, when Excel got to finance management, it returned back error. Here, he gave us the right answer. Here, error. And then here, error. You remember I told you that whenever you see something like this, whenever you see something like this, like triangle, this green color, this small angle, I say whenever you see something like this, Excel is seeing this cell as a test, not a value. It's seeing them as a test, not a value. Now, why are we getting this thing? Well, let me explain. Now, this is the reason. Now, if you look at this finance management, if we look at this finance management, you will see that when it comes to hourly, Excel couldn't find anything like hourly here. He couldn't find anything like hourly. Hence, he returned back this. Guidance and counseling. Don't forget, The second criteria, hourly, nothing of such. So he couldn't calculate the average. So we got, okay, sorry, guidance and counseling, we got 14,000. Now, marketer, half time, nothing, is 0. He gave us error. Then, traffic controller, half time, the average, see, 8,007. Then 8,007. Good. You will see that all this 0 here, if you look, if you follow this pattern, you will understand it better. That is, there is nothing like hourly criteria. There is nothing like hourly status here. That's why you are seeing this. Nothing like half-time status. That's why you are seeing. Nothing like, accounting is not on this table. So let's leave that one. Can you see? So I can just, if you want to use find and replace to do this, you won't get anything. It won't return anything. It won't replace anything. So you can just do it manually. What you just do is to just clear the stuff and then just put 0. Just put 0. Come down here as well. Clear the stuff and put 0. You can also come down here, clear the stuff and put 0. You also come down here as well, clear the stuff and put 0. So good. Now you can just put grid to make this thing to rhyme with this table. So I've successfully taught you how to make use of sum if function, sum ifs, can't if, average if, and average ifs. All right, so let's move to another material. Let's move to if error. Now, let's look at if error function. If error function. Now, look at this particular function, if error. The word if, I think you know the meaning of if. If this thing happen, give it this. If that thing happen, give it this. That's the meaning of if, a conditional statement. Now, I have a table here. This is a table, right? I have under column B, I have training book, I have textbook, I have ink, I have A4 paper, and here, this is an error. This is an error. Now, I want to return what is inside this cell, inside this column. Inside this column, I want to return it here. Same thing here to here, here to here, here to here. Now, it means that if I use my if error function, if I don't do anything on this, it's still going to return this. And I don't want to see this thing again. I don't want it to return it to, I don't want Excel to return this thing back to us. I don't want to see it. So what do I do? If I don't want to see this, if I want to see another thing, what do I do? Then I'm going to use my if error function. Now let me type equals to if error. Now it's asking me value. What is my value? Of course, the value I want to return. Don't forget, in Excel, the first number is a big deal in Excel. The first number, the first data, the first row, the first cell. So I'm going to select this, and I'm going to put my comma. Now it's asking value if error. That is, if I want to return what is inside column B to column C, and as I'm returning each rows, as I'm returning each row, as I'm returning each row, if I get a particular row and I see an error, what do I do? That's the meaning. If error, what should I return? Then I will be the one to give you the command. Okay, don't return back the error, return this. This is what I want to say. Do this for me and return this back to me. So how will I go about that? Value if error. I will just put sold out. Sold out. Then I'm going to put the other quotation. I'm going to close my brackets. So let me just quickly say this. Whenever you are writing a function or when your syntax is open, and particularly you want to write a text, always ensure that you are putting it inside, you are putting quotation in the front and quotation at the back, front and back. If not, Excel will not allow you to go. So whenever you are putting a text, you must always put a quotation. Now I will just hit my enter. Excel return back the training book. Now I don't expect to see this again because I've already inputted something here. Now I'm going to autofill now. Can you see? Sold out. Sold out. This is how to use if error. So if error occur, what should I do? If error occur, what do you want me to do? Okay, don't give me back the error. Don't retrieve back the error. Just give me this. And I've done it. I've given Excel the command and return back sold out. So that's how to make use of if error function. Okay, now let's move to another function. So we are moving to chose. Chose. Now, when you hear the function called chose, what is the function? What is the function? What is the function? Good. Now, chose always retrieve what is on a particular table into another particular table using index number. In other words, chose used to make use of index number to return what is inside a particular table into the table you want to see the results. So chose always make use of index number. Okay, good. Okay, now before moving to chose, let me quickly show you this. Before moving to chose, I'll come back to it. Let me just use a new sheet here. Yeah, I want to quickly show you this. I just want to give you an idea of how you can make use of hand when you are writing logical statements. Although I'm still doing a research on hand, so I don't have the material. I don't have material on hand for now. I don't have a material on it. I'm still doing a study on it. But I will just give you, I just want to show you the idea of how it works when you're writing a logical statement. So I will just do just little example here, just short, before I move back to my chose. Now let's say you have this particular number. Let's say you have 50, 100, and you'll say 150. Now, look at this number. I'm going to just write a logical statement. You can just look what I want to do. I will quickly write a logical statement here. And this is what I want to do. What I want to do is this. If this particular column, this column B, if this particular column is greater than the number I want to put, I want Excel to return this. And if it is not greater, I want it to return this. Now, let's see how it works. Is equal to You write your if, and then you put your hand. Now, he's asking me my logical statement. My logical statement. What is my logical statement? Of course, what I want to do is this. If this particular cell is greater than 500. Now, when we are doing the other logical statements, the next thing you will see here is value if true, value if false. But here, you will not see something, like that here, because hand is different. You are writing if, and you are writing a particular function, and then you are inputting hand. So it will not give you what you want. Rather, it will keep giving you logical statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, statement 4. You understand? Just for you to have an idea, you can go and study it on your own. But just for you to just have an idea of how it works. Logical 1, logical 2, 3, 4, like that. Now, if this cell is greater than 500, now I'm not going to write value if true now. The next I'm going to say is that if, or let me put it this way, if this cell is greater than or equals to 500, comma, second logical statement, I will say if this statement is lesser than 500, then I will close my brackets. Are you seeing the difference between the one we did? Then I will put my comma. Then I will now write my value true. So let's say I want to put, okay, do it this way, value true, this cell, if it is greater than 500, multiply it by 3. Value false. What if it's not greater than 500? Multiply this cell by 2. Then I will close my brackets. So look at the logical statements. If 50 is greater than or equals to 500, multiply 50 by 3. But if 50 is lesser than 500, then multiply it by 2. And if you look at my number, they are lesser than 500. That means I expect Excel to return times 2 of 50, times 2 of 100, and times 2 of 500. So I will hit my enter. 100. 2 times 50, 100. And I will just autofill. 2 times 100, 200. Then 2 times 150, 300. So it's just for you to have an idea of how hand works. So you can just study that on your own. Now let's go back to choose. Now, I said this choose makes use of index number. Now, let me write the function. Now, before I input my function, let me tell you what I want to see. Of course, this is what I want to see. I want anywhere I see 1, I want choose to return red. Anywhere except C4, I want choose to return blue. Anywhere except C3, I want it to return yellow. And anywhere except C2, I want it to return green. That is choose. Then I will make use of my choose function. Let's see how it works. I'm going to type it here. Equal to choose. Now, look at it. Chooses a value or action to perform from a list of values based on an index number. Okay, all right, I'll double tap. Now, it's asking my index number. What will be my index number? Of course, the Fox number here, the Fox number. going to put my comma. Now, Excel is asking value 1. What's my value 1? Of course, this is my value 1. Red. Red. It will be my value 1. And I will select red. I will select red. Now I'm referencing a particular table under column I, and I will lock. Let me lock using F4. I want to show you something. I'll put my comma. I will select my green, and I will use my F4. I'll put my comma. I will select my yellow, and I will hit my F4, and I will select my blue, and I will hit my F4, and I will close my brackets. Then I will hit enter. Good. Red. Have you seen red? 1. Red. Now let's try to populate it and see the rest. Oh, everybody pay attention and see what happened here. Don't forget that I logged it. You remember that I logged it using my F4. Upon locking on this row value, instead of blue, I got error. 3. Instead of yellow, I got blue. Same thing to everything. What happened? What went wrong? Okay, let me tell you. Now, the reason why you are seeing this is because when I lock this particular cell, I locked it once. But Excel is expecting me to lock it twice because I'm actually dealing with a particular row in a table. With a particular row in a table. So that means Excel did not recognize my first locking. Now, since I got this, it means that means I will need to relock again. I will need to give it a second lock. Why? Because I'm dealing with a table with rows. So I'm going to delete it now and execute it again. I'm going to delete now. Then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to say equals to chose equals to chose my index number. I'm going to put my comma, and then I will come to my value, red. I'm going to lock it twice. 1, 2. Put my comma. I'll come to my second value. I'm going to lock it twice. 1, 2. I'll put my comma. I'm going to come to my next value, yellow. I will lock it twice. 1, 2, comma. I will come to my next value. I will lock it twice. 1, 2. Then I will close my brackets and I will hit my enter. Now let's try it again. Let's see. I'm going to put my cursor here. I'm going to autofill. Now I got the right result. I got the right answer. Good. Now you've been able to see that 1, red, then blue, yellow, green, red, green, yellow, blue, green, red, and yellow. I locked it twice. Now, please, I want you to write this thing down. Everybody, take your book and write this thing. Take your notepad and write this thing down. Please, very important. So it will help you going forward as you are growing in this data analysis field. Please, everybody, write this thing down. Sorry, let me quickly open my book and please just give me a few seconds. Okay. Okay, everybody, please write this thing down now. Write it down now. Write
Please,
it
we
down
can't
now.
see from this end.
I'm not doing anything. I want you to write something down. There's something I want you to write down whenever you want it, so that that I want you to write something down so that when you want to log, you will know when to log and how to go about it. I'm not doing anything now. Please, everybody, take your notepad and write. And write. It's your network. It's your network, not me. Now, if you click F4 once, please, everybody, write. If you click F4 once, what you are doing is that you are fixing the column and the row. In other words, you are locking the column and you are locking the row. Whenever you click F4 once, you are locking the row and you are locking the column. That's number one. Number two, if you click F4 twice, that is, if you have any reason to click F4 twice, that is 2 times, what you are doing is that you are locking a particular row. You are locking a particular row. You are locking a particular row. Or in other words, you are locking a row. When you click it twice, you are locking a row. Are you hearing me now? Like this one I clicked twice. I locked this row. This row 1, 2, 3, and 4. You are locking.
Please repeat.
I said, whenever you have any reason or any cause to click F4 twice, 2 times, what you are doing is that what you have just done is that you have successfully locked that row, that particular row. Row 1, row 2, row 3, and row 4. Then we can say rows. You have locked that rows. That's that. Then the third one, when you have any cause, I think this one I have not used that. I have not used it. I have not seen any reason to lock 3 times before. But if you have any reason to lock 3 times, that is thrice, you are locking the column. I don't want to say a particular column. You are locking a column. You are locking a column. A column. That is, you are locking a column only. If you have any reason to lock twice, you are locking a row only. If you have any reason to lock thrice, that is 3 times, you are locking a column only. Then lastly, if you have any cause to lock 4 times, what will happen? It will go back to relative cell reference. That means you are not locking anything any longer. I will repeat, if you have any cause to lock 4 times, what is going to happen? Well, what will happen is that it will go back to relative cell reference. That means you have not locked anything. Are you hearing me now? That means you have not locked anything. Good. So now, thank you. Let me now continue with my work. Now, do you know that you can also get these results without locking? That is, you can also use this method to populate this column C. I'm going to delete this and I'm going to do it again. Let me give you another column. Don't forget, we are looking at chose function. And whenever you see any material on chose, that's how you will be applying it. Don't cram anything. First index number, and then the other one start selecting. Now let me say I want to use this formula again. Is equal to chose. I'm going to choose my index number. Don't forget your index number, comma. Now value 1, red. See what I'm going to do. I'm going to type it manually. I'm going to say quotation, and I'm going to put my red, and I'll put my quotation. I'll put my comma. Value 2, what is my value 2? Green. I'm going to put my quotation. I'm going to type my green, and I will close my bracket. I will put my comma. Third, yellow. I'm going to put my quotation. I'm going to put my yellow. I'm going to put the quotation. I'm going to put my comma. Don't forget, see now value 4 is guiding us. Blue. I'm going to put my quotation. I'm going to put my blue. And then I'm going to put the last quotation. It's asking us value 5. There is nothing like value 5 on this table. So I will close my bracket. Then I will hit my enter. Is it going to work? Let's see. Let's autofill and see. Going to autofill. Can you see it works? It worked. It worked. Can you see it worked? Good. So you can also select that way. You can also select that way. You can also select that way. Okay. Now, because of time, let's move to the last material for today. So tomorrow we'll continue from there. Now let's move to choose again. Now in another format. In another format. Now, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. I want to return these African countries: Nigeria, Congo, South Africa, Algeria, Cameroon, Sudan, Egypt, and Zambia. I want to return it back. I want to use the function called chose to return this particular text. This particular text in Colombia. I want it to appear here. Here. I want it to appear here under results. Under results. That's what I want to do. I repeat again. What is inside this table? I want to bring them here using chose as my function. So how do I go about that? Let's start again. I will say is equal to, I'm coming. Okay, good. I will say, let me put it here. Is equal to chose now. It's asking me my index number. It's asking me my index number. Now, this is what I want to do. I don't want to come here to select my index number. Rather, I want my index number to be here. 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 This row 2. Yeah, it's row 2. Row 2, column high. Row 2. Now, it's asking me my index number. Now, I don't want to come here to come and select this number. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to select this empty cell as my index number. You see that there is nothing here now. I'm going to select this empty cell. I'm going to put my comma. Now, it's asking me value 1. Remember value 1. So value 1 will be what? Nigeria. Value 2 will be Congo, South Africa, Algeria, Cameroon, Sudan, Egypt, and Zambia. Now, remember I gave you another method. That is, you can decide to put your quotation and then type Nigeria, put the next quotation, your comma, value 2, Congo, you do it like that. But it will take your time. So let's make use of our F4, our locking. So I won't do that one now. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to select Nigeria this way, and I'm going to lock it twice. 1, 2. I'm going to put my comma. Value 2, Congo. I'm going to lock it twice. 1, 2. Remember the definition of locking. I'm locking twice now. That means I'm locking the row, right? I'm locking each row. So together, I will say rows. Good. Now, my value 3, when I put my comma, except with both this, that it remains value 3. So I'll come to my value 3. I will select, and I will put my F4 twice. And I will put my comma. It's asking me value 4. What's my value for Algeria? I will pick my Algeria. I will lock it twice. 1, 2. I'll put my comma. It's asking me value 5. My value 5 is Cameroon, of course. I'll put Cameroon. I will lock it twice. 1, 2. I'll put my comma. And it's asking me value 6. Value 6 is Sudan. I will pick my Sudan. I will lock it twice. 1, 2. I'll put my comma. And then value 7 is Egypt. I will lock it twice. 1, 2. I'll put my comma. Then my value 9 is what? Zambia. I will select my Zambia. Then I will lock it twice. 1, 2. What is the next thing? Value 10. There is no value 10. So what do? I'm going to close my bracket. I'll close my bracket. I'll close my bracket, and I will hit my enter. Enter. Value. So the next thing I'm going to do is that now you are seeing value, right? Good. You are seeing value because I didn't select any figure here. You know, when Excel was asking me that what is your index number, I selected an empty cell. So now I'm going to put 1 here. I'm going to select this one. Then if I select 1 there, I expect this thing to change to Nigeria. So let me put 1 here. I'm going to put 1. Oh, sorry. I'm going to put 1 here. And I will hit enter. Can you see? This Nigeria. So now you will notice that immediately I put 1, the value changed because Excel has identified that I have already put an index number based on the function. So immediately I put 1, I got Nigeria. So let's say I put 2. What will I get? Oh, let's say I put 8. What will I get?
Zambia.
Oh, Zambia. Thank you. Now I will get Zambia. Now let's say that you have like 1,000 rows. 1,000 of this, 1,000 rows of this. Now, will you now be selecting it? You will clear 1, you put 2, you clear 2, you press enter, you click 3, you clear 4, you 5. It will take your time. So that means there is something we can actually do here. That is, we are going to use that feature here so that instead of us to be selecting 1, 2 to 1,000, it will take our time. I'm going to have a button here. Then when I click the button, all the numbers will show. Then when I click that button, this Zambia will change automatically. So when I press 2 on that button, Zambia, another country will show. When I press 4, another country will show. When I press 5, another country will show. When I press 6, another country will show. Good. Now, it is very possible to achieve that. It is very possible. That is, we are going to put the drop down here, and then we'll be selecting. When we select, this one will change automatically. when we select, this one will change automatically. When we select, this one will change automatically. So tomorrow we are going to do that tomorrow. So we are going to put all this number in, all this number you are seeing here, we'll put them here in form of a button. And when we press the button, and then the country will appear. When we press the button, the country will appear. So we are going to do it tomorrow by the grace of God. So I think I'm going to end the class today. Today's class, I'm going to end it now. I'm going to end it now. So tomorrow, by God's grace, we are going to start from here. So we are going to see how to use a drop-down list, whereby we will not need to come here to come and select a number here, neither putting a number here manually. As we click that figure, the result, the country will just pop out. As we click, it will pop out. As we click, it will pop out. As we click, it will pop out. Are you hearing me now? So we are going to do it tomorrow. It's a feature in Excel, and it's a feature you can find in data validation. So I was thinking that we are going to enter this material today, data validation. This one is simple, but this one is advanced. So, but we are not going to enter it today because if we start this material, 7 o'clock we are still here, 7:30 we are still here. So we won't start data validation today. We're going to start tomorrow. But this shows we are going to use a feature in data validation to get the drop-down list here, and then we'll be able to, so that when we are practicing or when we are carrying out the task, we'll be able to know how to make use of drop-down list in data validation. So let me just put my 7 here, hit my enter. So far so good. I will just go through what we looked at today. Now today we looked at let me start from, okay, logical statements. We also looked at if error. No, sorry, let me make use of my sheets here. I don't like what I'm saying here. Okay, we looked at logical statements, and then we also looked at, I think we looked at this, the right function, ampersand, and the left function, left, right function, and ampersand. Then we look at and function. We looked at add function. Now we also looked at sum if. We looked at sum if, can't if, average if, and average ifs. Then we look at chose one, and we also look at chose two. Okay, I think I'm done with the class. Thank you for the audience.